Ed Slott is a nationally recognized IRA and retirement planning expert. He has taught hundreds of thousands of financial planners throughout the United States. He's been featured in magazines and newspapers such as the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, and Time. He has also appeared on major television networks as well as CNBC, CNN, and Bloomberg TV. His books include The Retirement Savings Time Bomb and Parlay Your IRA into a Family Fortune.
I'd like to tell you about John Nealand, a very special type of financial advisor who has been personally selected by me to participate in my most prestigious program for financial advisors, Ed Slott's Elite IRA Advisor Group. These are advisors who are dedicated to their clients and their clients' families because they are committed to educating themselves in order to properly advise their clients in the highly specialized area of IRA distribution planning. IRA distribution planning is the key to where the retirement game is won or lost, because at some point money must come out of your retirement account, and the way it comes out will determine how much money your family will keep and how much will go to the government. You see, the key to building real wealth is to keep your retirement money away from the government and with you and your family for as long as possible. You see, the retirement game is kind of like a football game. You know, there's a saying in football, the score at halftime is irrelevant. Give me the score at the end of the game, and then I'll tell you who won. In the retirement game, there are also two halves, just like in a football game. The first half, the accumulation phase, and the second half, the distribution phase. You may have done very well in the accumulation phase. In fact, you may have done so well that you and your advisor are so happy that you've accumulated all the money you'll ever need for retirement. And you're so happy you put your arms around each other and you head in because you're done. Meanwhile, the IRS comes out for the third and fourth quarter. They're playing nobody, so they win. If you want to protect your retirement savings, you're going to need an advisor who has expertise in IRA distribution planning. Now, you might be thinking, well, don't all financial advisors have this? I'm sure my financial advisor knows all about this. Wouldn't every financial advisor know this? Absolutely not. In fact, probably only 1% of financial advisors know anything about IRA distribution planning. I can tell you this because I train more financial advisors in IRA distribution planning than anyone in the country. And I can tell you a lot of this falls through the cracks and they do not address the issues you need to know about. That's why you see stories in the paper like this. How retirees are blowing their nest eggs. When it comes to IRAs, investors and financial experts alike are making plenty of mistakes. You cannot let this happen to you. You only have one chance to get this right. Bad things can happen. Here's a recent horror story that appeared in the New York Post. Pension pickle, broke widower loses $1 million to in-law. It's about Ann Friedman, who worked decades at the New York City school system and had accumulated almost $1 million in her retirement account. She died and her husband got nothing. How could this possibly happen? Neglect. People were asleep at the wheel. This is the point of planning properly in the IRA distribution phase. What happened here is when she took the job decades ago, it was before she was even married. So who did she name as her beneficiary? Well, she named her mother, her uncle, and her sister. Well, her mother and her uncle have since died, but not her sister, who got every cent. Why? Because the beneficiary form was never looked at in all these years. Somebody was asleep at the wheel. Look at the caption under the picture. Bruce Friedman wasn't wife Ann's beneficiary because she didn't update her files when they wed. Again, this is unacceptable. This cannot happen to you, and it won't happen if you have the right financial advisor who knows how to take care and check these types of items. Not only this item, but literally over 100 other items about your retirement account to make sure you can sleep at night and these things don't happen to you and your family. And the reason these things are so horrible is that these kind of mistakes, because of the arcane tax rules, these kind of mistakes generally cannot be fixed. They cannot be corrected. Once it's too late, it's over. You spent so many years working hard for your retirement savings, building a little at a time, and one mistake can end it all. This is the reason I created Ed Slott's Elite IRA Advisor Group, to create a group of highly skilled and highly dedicated advisors who are literally committed to their clients to make sure that this doesn't happen to their clients and their families. Now I'm proud to introduce a member of Ed Slott's Elite IRA Advisor Group, and in my opinion, one of the most knowledgeable advisors in the country in the area of IRA distribution planning, where now you know the retirement game is won or lost. I'm delighted to introduce John Nealon, one of the best of the best.
Thanks, Ed. I appreciate that introduction. I'm John Nealon with JCN Financial Group. We're specialists. We specialize in qualified plan distribution and estate planning. Take a moment and let's look at qualified plans. What does that mean? Well, a qualified plan can be an IRA, a 401k, a 403b. It's an investment where when you put your money into it, the IRS gave you a little bit of a break. But in turn, every dime you ever take out of that account is going to be fully taxable. Now, it's very important to separate these assets from your other assets. Why do I say that? I think Ed made a good point. They convey differently. The gentleman he described on his introduction, the wife had intended to leave her IRA to him, but she used the wrong tool. She used a will. IRAs transfer via a beneficiary designation. Also, with the recent changes in tax laws, that beneficiary designation has a big impact on how that IRA will be taxed. And if you aren't prudent and aren't informed, 70% of your IRA can go to the internal revenue through income taxes and estate taxes. There are 4 strategies we employ to manage qualified assets, be it IRAs or 401ks, 403bs. The first thing is to create and grow wealth. But why is that important? Think about retirement today. It can last 25, 35, 40, maybe more than 40 years. So you have to outpace inflation. But the number 2 thing may be as important, if not more important, and that is to protect and preserve that asset. Because once we're in retirement, we don't want to go back to work, and we may find we can't someday. The third is one I often see people are not addressing at all, and there's a lot of ability with this, and that is to plan for the distribution of that asset during your lifetime in the most tax advantageous way. There are ways, and many of my clients have done this, to take tax-free distribution out of your IRA. But that also has a compound effect because it can also reduce the amount of tax you pay on your Social Security. Now, the 4th thing we address really is more of an estate planning tool. My clients and most people I know of will tell you they don't plan on spending all of that IRA during their lifetime because they need the money. So they tend to be very conservative, and in most of my clients' cases, they find that their IRA accounts are worth much more at age 80 than they were at 65. So the real question becomes, how important to you is it that more of your money goes to your family versus internal revenue? So planning for the distribution of that IRA asset after death is very, very important. If you'd like information on these and other tactics we can show you to reduce the tax on your IRAs, please feel free to give us a call.
877-755-0488.